Welcome to SuperFast SuperFit videos. I'm M. David Peterson, the author of SuperFast, Fasting for Super Health. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MeWe, Gab, brand new Tube, BitChute, and YouTube. Today I want to tell you about my book, SuperFast, Fasting for Super Health. But I want to do it through a story, an exchange that I had on social media with a man named Ted. This is my TED Talk. I'm going to put that in my resume. So, one of the people that I follow on social media was talking about the mainstream media, Big Pharma, and Big Food. I wrote, I talk about the ties between the media, Big Pharma, and Big Food and how it makes us fat in my book, SuperFast, Fasting for Super Health. That's when I met Ted. Ted responded to my comment, I'm familiar with the concept of fasting. One complication is that I am type 2 diabetic. If I go much more than 5 hours without food, I start having really bad symptoms. I'm not sure how fasting is realistic under those circumstances. Type 2 diabetic, fasting helps. So I simply wrote, I'd be happy to help, Ted. So I went back to the thread and I found this message. M. David Peterson, I appreciate your offer. I'm pushing hard on 70 years of age. In my book, I talk about who should fast and who shouldn't fast, and anybody over 65 should not fast unless they are medically supervised. But Ted had already bought my book. He also wrote that he was around 270 pounds, and he said, I'm medically retired as well as being permanently disabled. I don't get as much exercise as I used to. Losing weight has been a challenge. With SuperFast, you are going to lose weight, so that will help with moving around, exercising. It will help with reducing insulin resistance, and it will improve your problems with type 2 diabetes. So then, Ted messaged me this. M. David Peterson. Well, I just got to part 2 of your book, just beyond the point where you advise folks pushing 70 to forego on IF. So I'm not sure where that leads me. So I told Ted whatever I would tell anybody over 65. Maybe fasting is not reasonable for you right now. Just work on your diet. Clean up your diet, eat more plants, and you'll be fine. He wrote to me, I'm now in day 4 of my 18-6 fast. So he started fasting 18 hours a day. This was a man who told me that he couldn't go 5 hours without food, so he was very determined, and I think he got some motivation from my book. I also told him that he should consult a doctor if he were going to fast or even change his diet. He wrote, I suppose I should let my doctor know my plans one of these days. I feel different at this point. I wasn't sure what he meant by he feels different at this point, but after a few days of fasting, he wrote, I walked around the local home improvement store without using the electric cart. I must say, by the time I was done, my knees were starting to express their displeasure. So here was a man with type 2 diabetes, and now, with just a few days of fasting, he has enough energy to get up and walk around the store by himself. These are not abnormal results with fasting. So I gave Ted an assignment. I said I would like before pictures so we can have before and after, and I would like also a medical checkup before and after. I'm still waiting on those, so this TED Talk will be continued. Be sure to check out my book and our social media pages. Once again, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MeWe, Gab, brand new Tube, BitChute, and YouTube.